Have you ever been lying in bed at night, your body exhausted, but your mind is running a marathon? Or maybe you're in a meeting and suddenly your heart starts to race, your palms get sweaty, and you can't focus on a single word being said. It feels like your brain has been hijacked, and all you're left with is a tidal wave of worry and fear. If that sounds familiar, I want you to take a deep breath and know you're in the right place. That feeling of being out of control, of your own mind turning against you, is the signature of anxiety. And it's incredibly common. In fact, anxiety disorders are the most common mental health condition in the world. Globally, an estimated 359 million people had an anxiety disorder in 2021. So if you're struggling, please know you are far from alone. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into the science of anxiety, demystifying what's happening in your brain when you feel that wave of panic. And most importantly, I'm going to share with you 5 science-backed tools that can help you calm your anxious brain and regain a sense of control. These are not quick fixes or empty platitudes. These are practical, actionable strategies that you can start using today. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of your anxiety and a toolkit of techniques to help you navigate it with more confidence and ease. Crucial disclaimer. Before we go any further, I want to gently remind you that I am not a doctor, and this video is for educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you are struggling with anxiety, please, I encourage you to reach out to a qualified healthcare professional. Seeking help is a sign of strength, and you don't have to go through this alone. Understanding your anxious brain. So what's actually happening in your brain when anxiety takes over? To put it simply, your brain's danger detection system is working a little too well. Let's talk about a key player in this system, the amygdala. The amygdala is a small, almond-shaped set of neurons deep in your brain, and it's essentially your brain's alarm system. When you perceive a threat, whether it's a real and present danger, like a car swerving into your lane, or a perceived threat like giving a presentation at work, the amygdala sounds the alarm. This triggers a cascade of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which prepare your body for a fight or flight response. Your heart rate increases, your breathing quickens, and blood is diverted to your muscles. This is a brilliant and life-saving system when you're facing a genuine threat. But for those of us with anxiety, this alarm system can be a bit overactive. It can be triggered by thoughts, memories, or even a vague sense of unease, putting our bodies in a constant state of high alert. Now, your brain also has a braking system, and a major part of that is the prefrontal cortex. This is the more evolved part of your brain, responsible for rational thought, decision-making, and emotional regulation. The prefrontal cortex can assess a situation and say, "Hey, amygdala, it's just a presentation, not a saber-toothed tiger. You can calm down now." However, in an anxious brain, the communication between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala can be a little spotty. The amygdala's alarm signals can overpower the prefrontal cortex attempts to calm things down. This is why it can be so hard to just relax or stop worrying. It's not a matter of willpower, it's a matter of brain chemistry. It's also important to bust a few myths about anxiety. Myth number 1, anxiety is a sign of weakness. This could not be further from the truth. Anxiety is a complex interplay of genetics, brain chemistry, and life experiences. It is not a character flaw. Myth number 2, you should be able to just get over it. As we've just discussed, anxiety is a biological response. Telling someone to just get over it is like telling someone with a broken leg to just walk it off. It's not helpful and it's not realistic. The truth is, anxiety is a shared human experience. And while it can feel incredibly isolating, remember those statistics. You are part of a global community of people who understand what you're going through. And the good news is, because we understand the science behind anxiety, we also have science-backed tools to help manage it. 5 tools that actually work. Now let's get into the practical, actionable strategies that can help you calm your anxious brain. Tool number 1, diaphragmatic breathing, belly breathing. What it is, diaphragmatic breathing, or belly breathing, is a deep breathing technique that engages your diaphragm, a large muscle at the base of your lungs. Unlike shallow chest breathing, which is common when we're anxious, belly breathing is a powerful way to signal to your body that it's safe to relax. Why it works: deep, slow breathing stimulates the vagus nerve, a major nerve that runs from your brain to your gut. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's rest and digest system. It's the opposite of the fight or flight response. Stimulating the vagus nerve can help slow your heart rate, lower your blood pressure, and decrease the levels of stress hormones in your body. How to do it: find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly, just below your rib cage. Inhale slowly and deeply through your nose for a count of 4, allowing your belly to rise and push your hand out. Try to keep the hand on your chest as still as possible. Hold your breath for a count of 4. Exhale slowly and completely through your mouth for a count of 6, feeling your belly fall. Repeat this for 5 to 10 minutes or for as long as feels comfortable. Real-life application. Imagine you're about to give that big presentation. You're standing backstage and your heart is pounding. Instead of letting the panic take over, you can find a quiet corner and practice a few rounds of belly breathing. This can help to ground you and bring your nervous system back into balance before you step on stage. Tool number 2, grounding techniques. What it is: grounding techniques are simple exercises that help you pull away from anxious thoughts and reconnect with the present moment. They are particularly helpful when you feel like you're spiraling or dissociating. Why it works: anxiety often pulls us into a whirlpool of what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. Grounding techniques work by redirecting your attention away from those internal worries and onto the external world. By focusing on your senses, what you can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell, you're essentially telling your brain, I am here, I am safe, and I am in the present moment. How to do it: the 5-4-3-2-1 method. This is a popular and effective grounding technique. 5 things you can see. Look around you and name 5 things you can see. It could be a pen, a plant, a picture frame, a crack in the ceiling, the color of the wall. 4 things you can touch. Name 4 things you can feel. It could be the texture of your clothes, the smooth surface of your desk, the warmth of a cup of tea, the feeling of your feet on the floor. 3 things you can hear. Listen carefully and name 3 things you can hear. It could be the hum of a computer, the sound of traffic outside, the chirping of a bird, your own breathing. 2 things you can smell. Name 2 things you can smell. If you can't smell anything, try to imagine 2 of your favorite smells. 1 thing you can taste. Name 1 thing you can taste. You could take a sip of water or simply notice the taste in your mouth. Real-life application. You're at a crowded party and you start to feel overwhelmed. The noise is too much. The conversations are a blur and you feel a panic attack coming on. You can excuse yourself to a quieter corner or even the restroom and go through the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. It's a discreet and powerful way to bring yourself back to the present and regain a sense of calm. Tool number 3, cognitive reframing. What it is: cognitive reframing, also known as cognitive restructuring, is a technique from cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, that involves identifying, challenging, and changing negative or unhelpful thought patterns. Why it works: our thoughts have a powerful influence on our emotions and behaviors. When we're anxious, we often fall into cognitive distortions, which are like mental filters that make us see the world in a more negative and threatening light. Catastrophizing, imagining the worst-case scenario, black and white thinking, and overgeneralization are common examples. Cognitive reframing helps us to recognize these distortions and replace them with more balanced and realistic thoughts. How to do it: identify the thought. The next time you feel a wave of anxiety, try to identify the thought that triggered it. Write it down. For example, I'm going to fail this exam. Challenge the thought. Ask yourself some questions to challenge the validity of this thought. Is there any evidence to support this thought? Is there any evidence that contradicts it? Am I 100% sure that this will happen? What's a more realistic outcome? What would I say to a friend who had this thought? Reframe the thought. Based on your answers, Come up with a more balanced and realistic thought. For example, instead of, I'm going to fail this exam, you could reframe it as, I'm worried about this exam, but I've studied for it and I'll do my best. Even if I don't do as well as I'd like, it's not the end of the world. Real life application. You send an important email to your boss and you don't get a reply for a few hours. Your anxious brain might jump to, my boss is mad at me. I'm going to get fired. Using cognitive reframing, you can challenge this thought. Is it possible your boss is just busy? Have they been mad at you for a delayed response before? A more balanced thought would be, my boss is probably in meetings. I'll follow up tomorrow if I haven't heard back. Tool number 4, mindfulness. What it is, mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about observing your thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations as they come and go, without getting caught up in them. Why it works, mindfulness has been shown to be incredibly effective in reducing anxiety and stress. Research has even shown that mindfulness can lead to changes in the brain, including a decrease in the size of the amygdala and an increase in the connectivity between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. In other words, mindfulness can help to quiet your brain's alarm system and strengthen its braking system. One study even found that mindfulness meditation was as effective as a standard antidepressant in treating anxiety. How to do it? A simple mindfulness exercise. Find a comfortable place to sit or lie down. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Notice the sensation of the breath as it enters and leaves your body. Your mind will inevitably wander. That's okay. When you notice your mind has wandered, gently and without judgment, bring your attention back to your breath. Continue this for 5 to 10 minutes. Real-life application. You're stuck in traffic and you're going to be late for an important appointment. You can feel the frustration and anxiety building. Instead of honking your horn and fuming, you can use this as an opportunity to practice mindfulness. Turn off the radio and for a few moments, just focus on your breath. Notice the feeling of the steering wheel in your hands, the sight of the cars around you. By bringing yourself into the present moment, you can find a sense of calm even in a stressful situation. Tool number 5, the vagus nerve reset. What it is, the vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve in your body, and it's a key component of your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and digest system. A vagus nerve reset involves simple exercises that stimulate this nerve to help calm your body and mind. Why it works, as we discussed earlier, stimulating the vagus nerve helps to counteract the fight or flight response. It can help to slow your heart rate, lower your blood pressure, and reduce inflammation. How to do it? The hum and swallow technique. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, hum a low, long sound, like a contented sigh. The vibrations from the humming can help to stimulate the vagus nerve. At the end of your exhale, swallow. The act of swallowing also helps to stimulate the vagus nerve. Repeat this for a few minutes or until you feel a sense of calm. Real-life application. You're having trouble falling asleep because your mind is racing. You can lie in bed and practice the hum and swallow technique. The gentle vibrations and the act of swallowing can help to soothe your nervous system and prepare your body for sleep. A guide to do's and don'ts. Now that we've covered these 5 tools, let's talk about some general do's and don'ts for managing anxiety. Do's: do practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. Do celebrate small wins. Acknowledging your progress, no matter how small, can help to build momentum and motivation. Do move your body. Exercise is a powerful and well-researched way to reduce anxiety. Do get enough sleep. Lack of sleep can exacerbate anxiety, so prioritize getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. Do connect with others. Social support is crucial for mental well-being. Talk to a trusted friend or family member about what you're going through. Don't bottle it up. Avoiding your feelings will only make them stronger. Don't be a perfectionist. Striving for perfection can be a major source of anxiety. It's okay to be good enough. Don't rely on unhealthy coping mechanisms. While alcohol, caffeine, or other substances might provide temporary relief, they can make anxiety worse in the long run. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone's journey is different. Focus on your own progress and well-being. Don't be afraid to ask for help. This is the most important one. You don't have to do this alone. When and how to seek professional help. These tools can be incredibly helpful for managing anxiety, but sometimes we need a little extra support. So when is it time to seek professional help? If your anxiety is interfering with your daily life, your work, your relationships, your ability to take care of yourself. If you're experiencing frequent or intense panic attacks, if you're using unhealthy coping mechanisms like alcohol or drugs to manage your anxiety, if you're having thoughts of self-harm or suicide, if this is the case, please reach out for help immediately. You can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 988. Seeking professional help is a sign of courage and self-awareness. There are many effective treatments for anxiety, and a therapist can help you find the right one for you. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. This is one of the most effective and well-researched treatments for anxiety. CBT helps you to identify and change the negative thought patterns and behaviors that contribute to your anxiety. Acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT. ACT is a type of therapy that helps you to accept your anxious thoughts and feelings without judgment and to commit to living a life that is in line with your values. Medication. In some cases, medication can be a helpful tool for managing anxiety. A psychiatrist can help you determine if medication is right for you. Making it a lifestyle, from knowledge to habit. Now I know I've just given you a lot of information and a lot of tools, and it might feel a little overwhelming, but you don't have to do everything all at once. The key is to start small and be consistent. Choose one tool to start with. Which of the 5 tools we discussed resonates with you the most? Start with that one. Practice it for a few minutes every day, even when you're not feeling anxious. This will help to build the neural pathways in your brain that support calm and relaxation. Create a calm down kit. This could be a physical box or a digital folder on your phone. Fill it with things that help you feel calm and grounded. It could be a list of your favorite grounding techniques, a link to a guided meditation, a picture of a loved one, or a soothing playlist. Be patient with yourself. Learning to manage anxiety is a journey, not a destination. There will be good days and bad days. The important thing is to keep showing up for yourself with compassion and grace. Remember, every time you practice one of these tools, you are rewiring your brain. You are strengthening the connection between your prefrontal cortex and your amygdala. You are teaching your nervous system that it is possible to feel safe and calm. Conclusion and empowering message. Anxiety can feel like a life sentence. It can make you feel small, powerless, and alone. But it doesn't have to be that way. You are not your anxiety. You are so much more than your anxious thoughts. You have the capacity for calm, for joy, for connection, and you have the power to heal. The tools we've discussed today are not just coping mechanisms. They are pathways to empowerment. They are ways to reclaim your mind, your body, and your life. Healing is not a linear process. There will be ups and downs. But with every deep breath, every moment of mindfulness, every thought you reframe, you are taking a step in the right direction. You are moving towards a life that is not defined by fear, but by courage, resilience, and hope. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more content on mental health and well-being. And please share this video with anyone you think might benefit from it. You never know who might need to hear this message today. For our community question, I'd love to know, what was your biggest takeaway from this video? Or, which of the 5 tools are you most excited to try? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Reading through the comments on this channel is one of my favorite things to do, and I know your insights will be a source of inspiration and support for others. Remember, we're all in this together. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.